Welcome to Community Talk. My name is Tasha Billingsley. I'm a board member of the Oklahoma chapter of American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And I'm here today with Kelly Webster, and he's going to talk to us about the Enid Community Out of the Darkness Walk. Kelly is the walk chair. So Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about the walk? What is this walk?
Well, the Enid Out of the Darkness Community Walk is to raise awareness to the suicide.
Can we start over?
Oh, God.
Sorry.
You want to start over again?
Yes, please. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. No problem.
Raise money for suicide research, bring awareness to the issue.
You can hold the paper.
Oh, God. Can I just read off
Yeah,
of
you can
this?
use your notes if you need to. That's fine. There's no problem with that at all.
Okay.
Everybody does it. Don't worry about that.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome to Community Talk. My name is Tasha Billingsley. I'm a board member of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and the Oklahoma chapter. Today I have Kelly Webster here with me to talk about an upcoming event. Kelly is the chair of the Out of the Darkness Enid Community Walk planning team. And so he's going to talk to us a little bit about that. Kelly, this event's coming up. Tell me about that. What is this walk thing?
It's a walk to raise awareness about suicide prevention and to raise money for education and research
Okay.
to help
All right.
prevent it.
That's good. So it's like other walks that we've seen, like Alzheimer's walks and breast cancer walks.
Yes, it is. The money goes to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention as a national coalition dedicated to reducing suicide
Okay.
in the United States.
Okay. So is this the first year they've held that walk?
No, this actually is a third one that I know of that we've had here in Enid.
Okay.
Third year.
All right. And have you been involved that whole time?
Well, I've chaired it last year and this year, and just helped in the first year. So.
Okay. All right. And then I think you already mentioned that the organization that's behind these walks is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Yes.
Tell me, are these walks only in Enid?
No, actually we have, there's 400 walks annually nationwide, up to approximately 275,000 people participate in these walks across the nation. We typically have 5 or 6 here in the state of Oklahoma every year. So.
Wow, 275,000 is a lot.
Yes, a lot of people.
Yeah. So the big question is, when and where is this walk going to take place?
Okay, so our walk is going to be October the 4th on First Friday this year. It's going to be downtown at the courthouse, at the gazebo there. We're going to meet up there. Registration is at 5:30. And then we have a guest speaker that's going to speak, and then probably get started around 6:30 or 7 doing the walk. We're going to walk around the square.
Okay. So they'll walk on the street around the square?
Yes.
Okay.
On the blocks around the square.
All right. How many times?
Well, we're shooting for 4. You can walk as many as you want. I don't know how far I'll be able to walk this
So
year.
you won't have failed if you walk less than 4?
No, there's no set limit. No.
Okay. All
Walk
right.
as far as you want.
I heard that you're going to be pushed in a wheelchair.
Yeah, well, unfortunately we had a little accident. Probably won't be able to walk very far this year, but it's
Okay.
going to be all right.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. So if somebody wants to walk, how do they sign up to walk? Do they just show up, or how does that work?
Well, a couple different ways. You can go to afsp.org/Enid for the Enid Walk, and you can sign up online, or you can just walk up and register. At the walk, we'll have 2 different tables there for online registration, or just walk up, either
Okay.
way. So.
All right. So what are some of the things that happen at the event itself?
Well, we're going to have this year, fundraising, obviously, we're going to have a silent auction this year. We have a couple of companies here in Enid that's donated items for an auction. We're going to have a guest speaker this year just to tell a little bit of his story, how suicide has affected his life, and then we're going to have a balloon release.
Tell me about that.
Well, the balloon release is which we give everybody a balloon, and we provide markers for them. And you can actually write a small note to your loved one that you've lost, and it's pretty impactful to do that. We always have a special song right before the balloon release, and it's very powerful.
I know I went last year. It was my first time to go to a walk, and I wasn't expecting it to be so powerful. I've been in the mental health field for over 20 years, and when you've been in the mental health field for a long time, you can get, kind of numb sometimes to the pain and the hurt that's out there because you hear it so much.
Right.
And so when I went and I participated in that balloon release, it was very impactful, and it affected me emotionally. And then there was also, you had beads. Can you tell us about the beads?
Yeah, the beads, each different color represents a different person that you may have lost. So like a sibling is a certain color, a parent is a different color, or a friend is a corresponding color. Also for people that struggle with suicidal thoughts is a different color as well. So it kind of, everybody wears their different color at the walk. So, and the beads are free. We just pass those out.
Okay. I remember, the thing that I remember the most about last year's event is just walking up to somebody who had multiple beads on and realizing just because of the color of the beads that they had lost a child, maybe a parent also, or a friend. So they had multiple losses to suicide.
Right.
I think we don't realize how much, what the problem really is, how much.
Right, and I know several people that are like that have lost more than one person. I can't imagine. I know what a struggle it was for me just losing one. So it's
Yeah. So, are you required? I know that there are teams. I see Team Elijah here.
Right.
Are you required to be on a team?
No, you don't have to. You can just walk as a solo walker, or a lot of people, they sign up to support a certain person that are, like my family, be on my team, Elijah, in support of me and Elijah. So, but you can just show up and walk.
Yeah.
But,
So I work at Resilience Behavioral Health, which is an inpatient unit at St. Mary's, and I talked about this with our staff, and they said they want to have a team, and so
Right.
we're going to have Team Resilience, which I think is really important because the people who work with me at Resilience, they are every day they come face to face with the realities of suicide and people who struggle and may be in crisis and experiencing suicidal thoughts. And so I think for them to be able to do something positive and walk to fight suicide is huge.
right.
So you kind of mentioned it a minute, but can you tell me a second about if somebody says, I don't want to walk, but I would like to donate, how do they do that?
Well, you could go online to afsp.org/Enid, and there'll be a donate button right there that you can donate if you don't want to participate in the walk.
Okay, so you can just go online and donate. You don't have
Yes.
to.
Absolutely.
What are some other ways if you want to donate towards the cause?
Well, like I said, we have companies that support with the silent auction items. We do welcome that, and it's not too late to do that still at this time.
Okay.
So we can still get those in there if
So
you
we've
want.
had some actual companies give us products.
Yes, we have for the walk this year. We did that last year as the first time, and everybody really liked that. You can donate, but you actually get something from giving. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's
People
good.
seem to like that.
That's good. So I think one of the things that I think about is I'm an educator for suicide prevention. So I go into the community and I do programs for mental health and suicide prevention. And one of those programs itself is called Talk Saves Lives. Actually, I have a brochure here on Talk Saves Lives. But that program actually was developed under the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So the monies that have been raised in the past for suicide prevention research went into developing that program,
Right.
and is now back in our community.
That's great.
So people who have donated in the past, that's kind of come full circle back to the Enid area and community for me to do that. And so I'm not sure that anyone really understands the scope of the problem of suicide. I think we try not to think about it if we're not impacted by it.
Right.
And so, and it might surprise people to know that worldwide, over 800,000 people die by suicide every year, which is really a staggering number, thinking about it being close to 1 million people
Every year.
every year,
Yeah.
every year, year after year. That's worldwide, but if you look at the United States, about 45,000 people in the United States die by suicide every year.
That is a huge number. You know, you think about it, that's about the population of Enid, and that put that into perspective. That's a lot of people.
And that number every year.
Yeah.
It's been said that it's Oklahoma's 7th leading cause of death, and it is the 2nd leading cause of death for people 15 to 34, which is, it's just, again, it's shocking. Can you tell me, I know we've talked about worldwide and nationwide, can you tell me a little bit about your story about what makes you passionate about suicide prevention?
Yes. So in March of 2016, I lost my son Elijah. Elijah, it was the day before his 19th birthday, and he took his life. So, you know, before that, it was probably, you know, it was something I didn't really think about that would ever happen to me. I was one of those people, you know, it's not going to happen to me, and all of a sudden now I belong to this club that I really didn't want to belong to. So, you know, and looking for help, you know, to get through this tragedy that's happened to my family. We found a support group in Oklahoma City at the Crossings Church there, and we attended there a couple of times, but, you know, just the distance is hard to keep consistent on that. But we found the AFSP walk in Oklahoma City that following September. Like I said, that happened in March. So through that walk, kind of built a community. You know, I realized I'm not alone in this process, and that there's other people, and it helped me to be around these other people that's 10 years and 15 years down the road, that I knew that I could survive it. So through that walk, I found the Enid walk, which was right after the Oklahoma City walk, and that's how I got involved in that.
You talked about a support group that you went to in Oklahoma City. Now, I happen to know that something about a support group here. Can you tell us about that real quick?
Right. We started a support group right at a year ago, and we meet the second and fourth Mondays at the Commons. They supply us with a really nice facility that we can meet there, and we meet, like I said, twice a month, and we follow the curriculum that the Crossings use. Like I said, we're not counselors or therapists, but we are all just survivors, and we can fellowship with each other that way. So it's very helpful as far as that.
Is there anything else, Kelly, before we close? Any last thing that you want to say?
Well, I just, you know, raise awareness of this issue. I ask the people, even if you are not a survivor of suicide, that you would come out and support the people that have been affected by this, just so they know that they're not alone in this. It can be a very isolating tragic problem. So.
Well,
just-
thank you, Kelly,
we
for
appreciate
coming
it.
and sharing your story today.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Matt Lohman, CEO of Hope Outreach Ministries, where our mission statement is sharing the love of Jesus Christ to the felt needs of our community for the purpose of empowering people towards responsible living. Where we have our parenting ministry, our homeless ministry, our community care ministry, our transitional housing ministry, and our thrift store ministry, which helps everyone in our community who is in need. Please look for us on Community Talk. We're looking forward to telling you more about each of those ministries.
Hello, I'm Brenda Bingham with the Blue Star Mothers, and I have with me today Lena Seckman. She's our financial secretary, and we're going to share a few things with you today about what we're doing and what we're going to attempt to do, and just talk to you about things that's going on. So, and we'd like to welcome you to Community Talk. Lena, would you like to tell them when our meetings are?
Our next meeting is, we have a packing meeting this Thursday, September 26th. Apparently I want it to be July again. At 6:30 in the mall, in the Blue Star Mothers
Room.
room.
Yeah. That's fine.
And we are packing Halloween goodies for it. I already have what I planned.
Good, good. What
The
you gonna make?
next- I'm actually making, dipping Oreos in white chocolate and making them
Awesome.
look like mummies.
Awesome. They'll enjoy that.
Just because it's kiddish and
Uh-huh.
seems kind of fun. Our next business meeting is October the 10th
Yes, I think
at 6:30 in the Blue Star Mothers room at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we have a,
Well, we will be, I believe the next item, we'll continue our monthly meetings. And of course, I just had all this. So here's October the
October
10th is our meeting. October the 19th is
October the 19th, we will
Atwood's.
be at Atwood's between 10 and 2
Uh-huh.
selling hot dogs and
And-
baked goods.
And it's 2 hot dogs and a drink for
For
$1.
$1.
So you can't hardly beat that.
You can't.
So, and then we'll have homemade goodies. We usually have cakes, cookies, pies, breads.
Brownies, breads.
This time of the year, probably like some zucchini bread, stuff like that, because,
Zucchini bread, pumpkin bread,
yeah,
apple
stuff
pie,
like that.
things like that.
So that'll be good, and so we'll have that, and so we look forward to seeing everybody.
Yes, we
And
do.
you know, we make a pretty good hot dog. So, and then we will have a gas card giveaway at November the 2nd. It's out at Mino and Pride, and it's $1 a piece or 6 for $5. And so us moms get out there and sell those, and when
we're done,
when
we
we're
draw the
done, we
num-
draw a name, and
And that person wins a $100 gas card.
that's right. And we also do that at Hutch's. I had not set that up yet because we usually do it Labor Day, and it's so hot in front of that store. So we need to get that set up too.
Yes, we do.
So anyway, we have a lot of things going on as far as fundraisers coming up. But if you have anything that you'd like to donate, feel free. We're at the store Thursdays and Fridays from 10 to 5 normally, unless one of us have an appointment or something that we have to leave. But that's what we do. So you got anything else that you'd like to share that you can think of? This is new to you, I know.
This is new to me, and I'm obviously not used to being in front of a camera and thinking of things on the fly.
Yeah, that's all right. And then
If you can't get to the mall when when the store is open on Thursdays and Fridays, you can drop your donations off with mall security,
Right.
and they will get it to us the next time they see us.
right. So we're always happy to see those coming in. We really need them. And Karen and I and Jolene, Lena had to work, and we all went out to Garber this past couple weeks ago, and Garber became a Purple Heart Town. It's pretty neat.
Yes, it is.
So we went out there and done that with the Wounded Warriors. Do you
Wounded
remember
Veterans
his?
of Oklahoma.
Okay, what was his name? I forgot.
It was J.D. Dennis.
Yes. So anyway, it was quite fun to be out there doing that. And can you explain his truck? He has such an awesome truck.
Yes, JD actually has a truck that he has put a wrap on that shows the logo for the Wounded Veterans of Oklahoma. They do so much for our veterans,
They do.
and it is just an impressive truck. And
It
then
is.
he also has a trailer that he pulls behind the truck when he's doing certain things like his fishing derby in the summer. And the trailer is wrapped as well.
Well, it was really neat to get to visit with him and to be a part of that. And of course, there were several veterans out there, and it was quite fun. And so we're looking forward. You know, the Veterans Day Parade is coming up too. So we've all been working on that along with Bill Cooley and the other veterans and the VVA and you know, whoever wants to help. The American Legion helps. We all help, and so we're kind of getting excited. It's getting closer, and
It is getting
and of
closer.
course we've got a lot going on, and we hope to draw a big crowd downtown. We always hope for that, and you know, I don't know if it's just Veterans Day, or I don't know if it's that they don't think there's a lot going on down there, but it's really something to see. So if you can get your family out, come out and show your support.
That's a wonderful idea.
Yes, so, and I think we're going to try to have some vendors out there this year, and that will help. Hopefully it won't be 8 degrees or whatever it was last year.
Last year it was freezing.
Oh my gosh, it was so bad. But we had fun. We still pulled it off, and there wasn't many out watching it. I guess they might have got to see it on Enid Buzz. But it was.
I think the cold scared everybody away.
It did, but we're tough. We still done it. So we just bundled up, and we made a few trips to the Family Dollar store to get
warmers.
caps and gloves and stuff like that. So anyway, and how can we go about getting some young mothers and of military people to come join us? Can you maybe help explain that even though you may not be real secure in public and all that, that it's fun
Secure in public?
to
What's
be.
that?
You can do that. that you know,
is
it's
fun.
easy to
I
be.
mean, I'm not a social person,
Right.
and I enjoy our meetings.
Mm-hmm.
As time goes on, we become a family. I know when my son was deployed to Afghanistan, I needed the support. I needed to know that there are others that had gone through it, and it was really hard for me when
Yes.
when he first called me to say, "Hey, I'm being deployed tomorrow." It was like last minute. We
Yes.
knew it was coming up, but he wanted to make sure that I had everything that I needed. And the first thing I did was reach out to the Blue Star Mothers so that I knew that I had the support on this end and I could make it through. I mean, it's not easy having your kids deployed. It's
Exactly.
just, you know, you think that once they're done, you're done, but the thing with Blue Star Mothers is there's other people's kids, and some of them can't be there to support them or aren't there to support them, and those kids deserve it too. So, you know, we're sending the care packages to all of the ones deployed to the military, I mean, to the war zones that we have names for. And, I mean, it's just one of those things that's close to my heart because I think about some of the other kids, some of the kids I went to high school with that I very much doubt got care packages. And I don't want that to happen to others.
Right. And you know, as a mom, you want the best for your kids. Even if you can't get there, you still want to make sure that you can give them something.
Exactly.
You want to make sure that they have, like this Halloween coming up, you want to make sure that they have a little bit of Halloween, you know, that somebody's thinking about them. It's not a holiday that they're probably real excited to celebrate over there.
They probably consider themselves too old for Halloween
Probably,
anyway. I
I'm
mean,
sure.
You know,
But
that's
it's-
for kids.
But it's the idea,
Yes.
you know. So we'll send them stuff, and they may be really happy this time with some of the stuff that's being sent, because I'm making popcorn balls. So
that always goes over
so
well.
with popcorn balls and your mummies, that should be fun. And I don't know what the other moms are making. I know Jolene was going to pick up some candy and stuff so that we'd have that for the
Halloween
boxes.
candy can never fail anyway,
That's
even when
right.
you're an adult.
That's
Come
right.
on.
You always look forward to that. And then we'll be getting ready for the Thanksgiving boxes.
Yes.
And-
those are the ones that take the most work.
Yes,
The
yes.
Thanksgiving boxes and the Christmas boxes.
Right.
We try to make sure that we are filling them with baked goods. And we can use any help that we get for,
That's
for
right.
filling those with baked goods, because we want to make sure our kids over there have something from home.
Right. Taste of Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff that we can't, you know, that they can't have every day. Yeah, they can have stuff out of the mess hall, but you know, getting something that somebody's mom or grandma made, oh my gosh, that just melts their hearts.
And I know when my son was over there, he had certain things that
Uh-huh.
were our traditional Christmas treats that he requested, and then when he was done and back, he had somebody else that he knew over there was like, hey, wait,
Wait.
your mom needs to send me some now.
Yeah. I know mine was always a lot of banana bread, pumpkin bread, and peanut brittle.
See, and mine was peanut butter balls, which is,
Uh-huh.
you know, just the
Oh,
peanut butter
yeah,
coated with
yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah, because that's kind of from the area where y'all was at. Yeah.
That's one of those things that we grew up making.
Yeah. And they do taste good. I mean, hey, protein, they need that protein. Even
There's
if it's
enough
got
sugar in those that I'm not sure how much the protein counts.
Well,
but
there's peanut butter, though, hey.
yes.
Give it a break. You can have all you want because there's peanut butter. But anyway, and then we'll continue to do that kind of stuff. And so if you've got a son or daughter that's deployed or fixing to deploy, please call us. Please get a hold of us, and you can always find our phone numbers. Well, it's on the front of this. You can get our phone numbers and call. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you.
Yes,
And
we
if
would.
if you would, if you'd like to just stop by to visit to see if it's something you'd be interested in. You know, some moms just don't want to put it out there. You know, it's hard to break yourself down and when you're
It's hard to
feeling
accept-
so low.
It's hard to let other people in when you are
Right.
missing your kids.
Because you feel like nobody understands where you're at. But you know, once you send that child over there, you'll remember it for the rest
Yes,
of
you
your
do.
life. I think the last time I was on here, I said something about being old. And that way, you know, we would always remember doing stuff. And it may be different for these kids now because, you know, we're always doing stuff that maybe we're older and we think differently. But I think we still have to send to them and let them know that somebody in this little Oklahoma town loves them.
See, and I know my son appreciated it when he was over there, even though he was getting a lot of care packages from his father and his grandmother and like that. He still
Right.
appreciated some of the other stuff,
Right.
and you know, knowing that there was more than just us that were looking out for him.
Exactly. Well, we're getting close to the end here, and I would like to put out there that if you're a Gold Star mother or dad or family, we would love to have you in our Veterans
would.
Day parade. And it's not just to put you out there, it's to honor your loved ones, because we do want to remember them.
Yes, we do.
If you have a picture that you want to hold and you'll get driven through the parade, bring it, because we want to remember that person and keep their memories alive. So come and help us to do that for you. And if you'd like to join us, please call. But one thing for sure is we want to keep our men and women in our prayers always. We would like to put out there that that there's a lot of things still going on. We're
Yes, there are.
losing guys, and so far just the guys. We haven't lost a woman for a little while, but I think on Facebook today it showed two more or three from Afghanistan.
I haven't been on Facebook today.
And so, it just breaks your heart, and to realize that these families are going through that. So keep them all in your prayers, their families, everyone that's left behind. It's hard on them too. So we just want to continue to show our support and pray all we can. And we're thankful to be in America.
Yes, we are.
So, do you have anything you'd like to say in closing? Well, I'd like to say thanks for having us on here, and thanks to all who help us out, whether you're here in town or in some of the small towns around us. We always enjoy everything that you do for us, and we continue to send the care packages to the troops, and it's with your help that we are able to do that. So God bless America, and y'all have a wonderful rest of the week.
Hi, I'm Rich Shepard. I'm the president of the Enid Civitan Club. Here locally, we give well over $10,000 a year to a lot of community events. If you'd like to be a member, please contact us. Go to civitan.org and be watching on CommunityTalk.
Hello and welcome to Community Talk. I'm Lori Johnson, Community Liaison for Enid Symphony. Today I'm here with Music Director Douglas Newell. Welcome.
Thank you.
So the Symphony has got a lot of exciting things starting out really soon. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the season?
October 5th and 6th, we open our season with 2 silent movies by Charlie Chaplin. Now that seems odd that a symphony orchestra would present 2 silent movies, but the fact is Charlie Chaplin was a composer. He was a very gifted violinist, and in fact he had designs on being a concert artist as a violinist, and apparently had the talent to do it, frankly. But Charlie Chaplin composed the music to be played by a theater orchestra to accompany the showing of his movies. So if you're going to see a movie with a piano player improvising something or an organist improvising something from, left field that has nothing to do with the movie, that's not what Chaplin intended. The 2 movies are A Dog's Life and Shoulder Arms. A Dog's Life was his first 1918 movie, and it was the first movie in the studio he built in LA. And in fact, it was followed by Shoulder Arms because he was in a hurry to finish. A Dog's Life and get it fully produced, so that he could turn his efforts to helping sell war bonds, because World War I was at its height then. And so he created the movie Shoulder Arms about the tramp, as we know him, in the army in Germany in World War I. Now, he's an American soldier. Actually, they're in France.
Right.
And he had great misgivings about this, about actually being comedic about the war. And he almost didn't do the movie because of it. But as a matter of fact, he took real-life war situations and turned them around, so that in the humor we saw the pathos of what war is about.
Right.
2 incredible silent movies. So that's October 5th and 6th.
So the music score is written.
The music score will be played by the orchestra as the movie is shown, and it's great fun for me. It's a bit like playing the orchestra playing for a ballet or an opera or a musical, with the exception it's all on film, and if you miss something, you've missed it. In live theater, we make concessions night after night for the way performers on stage feel, and their movements may be a little different and all. It's going to be the same with the movie. unless the projector speed changes.
Uh-oh.
So,
Well, you guys are
there are all sorts of
professionals.
things. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to do. There are very specific cues in the music for some things, and others just general background mood music.
Right.
But unlike many Hollywood movies, today the score goes throughout the movie. It isn't in little segments here and then some dialogue, some whatever, and then a little music comes back in. It begins with the main title and ends where the movie says the end.
This sounds amazing. I know there are some tickets still available. How would, if somebody's watching this, how would they get these?
Well, the easiest way to do it is log on to enidsymphony.org and purchase your tickets. You can purchase adult tickets, general admission, child tickets, military tickets. If you're in the military, if you're active, you'll see a Base Connect price, and that is a 10% discount. However, the best thing to do is buy a season ticket, because the season tickets are $25. All singles are $30.
So you're saving money.
So you're saving 20%. It's a better discount by buying the season ticket, and we've built it that way specifically into our pricing.
Which leads me to my next question. Tell us about the rest of the season.
Well, the rest of the season, in November, a very special tribute to the veterans. We're bringing a group from LA called the Satin Dolls. That's D-O-L-L-Z when you look them up on YouTube and see their music. They're a group of, it's actually a troupe of about 16 young ladies, but they go out in trios, a trio of dancers, a trio of singers, and they perform Andrew Sisters routines and tap and shimmy and foxtrot and Charleston, things like this. But they're going to do a salute to veterans on November 9th and 10th. Then on December the 8th, Sunday only, December 8th, at 2 o'clock and at 5 o'clock in the evening, we're presenting the marvelous opera by Giancarlo Menotti entitled Amal and the Night Visitors. Amal is a little shepherd boy who's crippled from birth, and the three kings who are on their journey to find the Messiah, the infant Messiah, stop at Amal's home and seek rest and shelter for overnight. And Amal's mother has designs on the gold that they're taking to the child, thinking that perhaps the gold intended for the Christ child could be used to cure her child. There's a miraculous ending. The three kings give some gold to the lady, but as they do, the child suddenly is able to walk. It's a marvelous Christmas miracle.
heartwarming.
It's a little bit autobiographical because Menotti had a problem walking when he was a child, and so he's very sympathetic to this when he wrote this marvelous score. It's an opera, so it lasts about an hour. It's no intermission. It's sung in English. So if you're looking for very special Christmas time
What a great opera.
blessing, I think this is something
And it's very
you should
family
see.
friendly. It's
Very,
for everyone, just
very.
everyone to enjoy.
And speaking of families, boy, you
Yeah.
segue well. In February, on the 9th,
Jenny Oaks Baker would
Jenny
be
Oaks
yes,
Baker and
February
Family 4.
8th.
February the
Saturday.
8th, Jenny Oaks Baker and her 4 children. She calls them Family 4. I guess that's less confusing than having to rattle off their
names.
You know, when they have a particular occurrence
Right.
of misbehavior.
Right.
But anyhow, nonetheless, Jenny Oaks Baker and Family 4. Jenny was a professional violinist. She was a member of the National Symphony Orchestra in Washington, D.C. But after she was married, and they began raising their children, they gave them all music lessons with very fine teachers. And so today they travel the United States presenting concerts, and we're going to feature them with the Enid Symphony Orchestra. Now this is a family concert. They have selections from a selection entitled Bound for Glory, which has things like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou in it.
Oh, classic.
It has, they have a selection from the new Chitty Chitty Bang Bang movie, and then a superhero medley. And they play a little Rachmaninoff here, and a little bit of Aaron Copland, Appalachian Spring, but their
Wow.
own arrangements, and they're fascinating orchestral accompaniments, and as performers, the children are just incredible. 2 performances on February the 9th, one at 2 p.m., a matinee, and one at 7 p.m., the evening performance. Then we spend some time in the educational world. We're going to the new McKnight Center in Stillwater to perform the Carnegie Link-Up concert.
That's exciting.
The orchestra sings. That's on February 5th, actually. And then in March, we'll be at Emmanuel Enid once again this year to perform the orchestra swings, which is swing music for symphony orchestra, for the Enid area public and private school children. And I'm sure if you're young and you're watching this, 3rd through 5th graders are taken to these concerts for free. Then we're going to end our season with a birthday party. Not for me, not for you,
No.
but for Beethoven.
Awesome.
Don't we know him by his last name because he was such perhaps the most gifted composer of all time. It's certainly
Amazing.
the one who can exhibit the human spirit through his music. 250th birthday party. He was born in 1770, and we're entitling the program Beer, Brats, and Beethoven, because Beethoven's favorite pastime was
The
going to
brats?
the tavern and having beer and brats. And so we're going to have a cookout, we're going to have beer, and we're
So-
going to play 2/5 of Beethoven, his 5th piano concerto and his 5th symphony. 5th piano concerto and 5th symphony. I'm sorry.
2,
I
5,
really
yeah.
can't count. But nonetheless, that will be one performance only, and it is only for season subscribers. We have about 30 season tickets left to
Right.
sell. If you thought you had ordered season tickets and you have not, you need to do it pronto.
This is going to be an amazing season ticket holder only performance. Like
Right.
you said, it's getting down there. We're not making this up. We are almost sold out for that performance.
We are indeed. There are plenty of tickets, single tickets
are.
available for the other 4 concerts.
Right.
But if you want to have all 5, you need to do it quickly.
And of course, there's also that you were mentioning there is a pre-party to that as well,
Yes,
right? Yes.
yes.
So
Now, I do want to say that our good friends at Messer Bauer Insurance Company are sponsoring the first concert. They have sponsored our opening concert for years, and we are just absolutely grateful to them for helping us get the season off to a good start. We are looking for sponsors for other concerts. We need a group of sponsors for the Veterans Day, if you might be interested. So we're always excited to have community support. Ticket sales really bring in about 22% of what it takes to operate a professional symphony orchestra in Northwest Oklahoma. So there's a lot to be raised.
and we are a nonprofit as
We
well.
are indeed a
We're nonprofit.
non-profit. Make sure before you donate to someone who says they are that they are.
Yes, that is true.
You can go to irs.org
And see.
and find out
Yes.
if you have any doubts.
Well, one of the things that people might not have had a chance to know is we have a new website. We talked a little
Yes.
bit about the ease of it, but there's a lot of information on there. And there's photos of the hall. Should you want to rent it for a party or a wedding, you can see it. Just go on to enidsymphony.org. It's a real user-friendly, very easy type of thing to use. And do
There-
not forget hall rentals because Christmas is coming
Well,
up.
there are a lot of places in Enid to have an event. And different size places for different size events. Ours is particular to the smaller medium size
Right.
events. But there isn't a more elegant facility
I would agree.
in the city with world-class decor.
Right, I agree. And Christmas
lovely place.
does fill up, so, give me a call. We can work something out, I'm sure.
This is Laurie. You call her at 580-237-9646.
Thank you, Douglas. This has been another edition of Community Talk. I'm Laurie Johnson, Community Liaison for Enid Symphony. I'm here with Douglas Newell. You have a wonderful day.
Hi, I'm Dan Scheidel, the Executive Director of United Way of Enid in northwestern Oklahoma. Visit us at our website at unitedwayenid.org and watch for us on Community Talk.
Welcome to today's segment of Community Talk. I am Ashley Wright, the Event and Marketing Coordinator at Leonardo's, and today I have with me Joyce Fales, the Science Educator at Leonardo's. Joyce, why don't you tell me about some of the classes you're teaching this fall?
Okay, we have OG&E Science Club on Tuesday from 3:30 to 5:30, and we do fun science activities and learn in the process of doing the fun things. And then on Thursday, we have Junior Welfare League Fashion and Design Institute at Leonardo's. And this year we're going to make pillowcases. They're called the hot dog style pillowcases. And we're going to learn to sew on buttons and snaps and hooks and eyes and learn what a serger is. So I really would love to have my classes fill up and have to turn people away.
What kind of experiments do you do in your science classes?
We have done some experiments on wind energy, solar energy, water energy, and we have done Steve Spangler wow science experiments where we burn money and fun things. We always do fun experiments.
So what's your favorite experiment you've done so far?
Burn money. I like to burn money and see the reaction of the kids when I light the dollar bill and they're going, "It's going to catch fire."
I have a different idea of burning money, and that's shopping. But so go into some more detail about the JWL class.
The JWL, of course, is sponsored by Junior Welfare League, and we learn to sew on sewing machines, learn at the very first just straight stitching and learning how to thread the machine and put the presser foot down and sew with it, and just so that the girls and boys will be able to say men things on their own when they get to be an adult.
So you said you were making pillowcases this year. What was the project you made last year?
The first semester we made purses, and the second semester we made pajama pants, and the kids loved making their pajama pants. They couldn't wait to get to take them home to wear them.
Well, that's exciting. So thank you to OG&E and JWL for sponsoring these classes. Are they pretty full now?
I don't think that I think I've got more in in Science Club, so I think I've got some in JWL. And JWL is for boys also. It is not just a girls learning to sew, and just even learning to use a sewing machine is something for some of these kids.
That sounds exciting. Well, where can they go to sign up?
You go to the front desk at Leonardo's and they have all the paperwork. We also have scholarships that you can apply for. You can go to the front desk and find out all the paperwork that you need to bring to receive a scholarship. And then you sign up at the front desk and bring the kids at 3:30 on either Tuesday or Thursday. And we do provide a healthy snack for them because kids are starved to death when they come to Leonardo's.
Well, thank you for letting us know about your classes, and hopefully they get up full enough where you have to turn people away.
I hope so, because I would love to be able to say sorry.
Well, thank you. Hi, I'm back with Jamie Castle, who's an art educator at Leonardo's. And Jamie, you also have some classes coming up after school in the fall. Why don't you tell me about your art classes?
All right, on Mondays, we are trying a new class. It's called the Bare Bones of Computer Science, or coding. When I taught in the classroom, I got to teach a STEM class, and I really enjoyed that. So I wanted to bring some of that to Leonardo's. So with the help of EPS and their devices, we're going to learn a little bit about coding and the idea of being on a network and just some of the basics of computer science. So I'm really excited about that. The other class is pottery, which is very near and dear to my heart. My grandpa was one of the first potters at Leonardo's. I grew up doing pottery all my life, and I love it. I want to be able to share it with as many people as possible. So here are some of the things that the last group of kids did. It's endless. I teach the basics of pottery, and then they can take it from there. in the end, they get to take home 2 or 3 pieces of their choice, whatever they want, fired, painted, and glazed all the ways through.
Cool. Well, I understand this year we have 2 pottery classes now, one for bigs and one for littles. Are they going to be doing these same projects or different projects?
They're along the same lines, but a little bit different. So littler kids have a lot more challenge dealing with the basics of just rolling a slab or making a coil. And so we won't get to go as far with them. Whereas the older people, and when I say older, I had 14-year-olds when I had the big kid class last time. We get to do more of the terms. What is a slab? What is a coil? What does it mean to put something in the kiln? And then they can do more innate and just do more design because they'll have more time to actually do that.
And Leonardo supplies all the products they need?
Leonardo's has the clay, we have all the tools, we have all the glaze and the paint, anything you want or could use, we have it all.
Oh, cool. So we do have the new class, Bare Bones of Computer Science. Why don't you go into detail about that? What can they expect to learn or gain from this class?
I'm going to focus a lot on coding to start with. Start with binary, on, off, what does it mean to code something, and go into, I always feel like if you're talking about any computer science, you have to kind of go into social networking and the safety of it. We'll actually get to go online and code things as well as do a lot of hands-on projects. People don't realize coding can actually be a hands-on, do it, put it out, follow the directions type of activity. But when they're done, they should know the basics of what coding is and the basics of what computer science is.
Okay. So do they bring their own computer or how's that work?
So we are very fortunate and we have the help from Jeff Verbal at EPS, and he said he is going to provide us with some devices. And so what we don't do hands-on, we will have devices to do. And again, just like pottery, you come just as you are. Like the other classes, it's 3:30 to 5:30, snack provided, and just come ready to have fun.
Well, cool. Are your classes pretty full now, or are you having to turn away people like Joyce wants to? Or
I would love to. We have some openings in both classes, but like I'm afraid when they, like Joyce said, when they fill up and they're gone. But there's still some openings to get in and learn some new skills that you maybe never thought of before.
Well, I'm excited for those. I'm sure you guys are too. Another thing coming up for Leonardo's in the middle of October is our Fall Festival. It is October 17th through the 19th. It's going to be from 10 to 5 each day. We have a lot of things planned. There's door prizes each day, and on the 3rd day there's a huge giveaway. We have educational demos, some face painting, corn mazes, and we're learning about grains. There's going to be tubs of grains upstairs, and it's going to be super fun. I know you're doing some art things. Do you have any examples of what you're going to be doing?
So we've ranged it a little bit to doing a little study on Kodowski and his circles and trees. We've also would like to do apple painting and pumpkins. For science, we want to talk a lot about why the leaves change colors and the shortening of the day. And a lot of times people come to Leonardo's to play, but we always like to slip in that little educational spot that they don't think of. And when we make it fun, the kids don't even know it, but when they come away, they know a lot more, and they go home and tell mom or dad or grandma and grandpa, hey, did you know that? And that's always awesome to hear.
Well, that will be exciting. There's also going to be each day a costume parade. We have a bunch of costumes at Leonardo's that kids can wear that don't bring their own. I know it's a fan favorite. Each day the kids get to march through with some Halloweenish music and get to go through the whole museum. Do you have anything to add about Fall Festival?
It's just fun-filled 3 days. We originally started with just an hour, but we decided we can't fit everything into an hour or two, and so we spread it across 3 days. It's nonstop for 3 days during fall break. It's a great thing to take your kids to and get some activity out of them.
Yes, so if you're needing fall break plans, come to Leonardo's. And with that being said, thank you for tuning into this segment of Community Talk, and we hope to see you at Leonardo soon.
If your nonprofit group would like to be on Community Talk, give us a call at 540-8918.